Hi, everyone. My name is Christina Prella.
And my name is Janet Carr. Welcome to another episode of the Women in 3D Printing podcast. In spirit of the upcoming TIPE 3D Printing virtual conference taking place January 27 to 28th next year, 2021, we are going to be dedicating the first series to the TIPE. So you might be wondering, what is the TIPE? TIPE represents the tracks for the conference: technology, industry, people, and economics.
And as your hosts, we are so excited to share our conversations with these trailblazing women. The all-female speaker lineup we have prepared for this conference is made up of women that have carved their careers in additive manufacturing and have inspired all of us. We can't wait to introduce them to you so you can get to know them before the conference.
So we invite you to hit that subscribe button, follow us on LinkedIn, and get to know the stories of these awe-inspiring women before the event.
We'd also like to give a shout out to our platinum sponsors, HP, Trumpf, Matter Hackers, GE Additive, and Dassault for making all of this even possible.
And here we have Cindy Deekitwong, who is the global head of marketing of Henkel's 3D printing global business. And she is currently also starting their new incubator business. Thank you so much, Cindy, for joining us today.
Hi, Janet. Thank you so much. And I'm very grateful and delighted to be a part of the first ever female speaker conference, TIPE 3D Printing. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, so what we really want to do today is get people learning about your story before you come onto the virtual stage. So before we get started, what we really want to know, what launched your career into AM? What got you here today?
That's a very good question to start. In part, it was a good timing. I was returning to the US from the international assignment in Japan. Henkel at the time was incubating a new business for 3D printing. And I myself want to be a part of that journey. At the time, when you look at the industry revenue, it was somewhat between 5 to 10 billion. By comparison, traditional manufacturing generate trillions. Even when you take into consideration of like 25% annual growth rate, 3D printing could not really scale without boosting its adoption. And that means producing more end-use parts. That's a problem I want to solve, especially link into collaboration with our strategic OEM partner. Together, we can drive more adoption and help our customer win.
That sounds like a really nice vision, and I'm really impressed by that. But it must be challenging entering a new market. What are the key challenges that you guys faced, and how are you guys overcoming that today?
Very good question, Janet. Well, aside from driving final part production, I'm really most focused, myself and the company, on the material. We work closely with manufacturer of photopolymer technologies, and our customer want a wide range of the material, including engineering grade plastic, elastomeric, and other specialties. We are trying to broaden the spectrum so that our OEM printer company and user can qualify more of their parts for additive manufacturing. But to do it more effectively, we need to have an open environment where collaboration among ecosystem partners drive change. We only to begin and uncover that potential with our strategic partnership program, especially here in Henkel.
How does one get started in the partnership program if they have something to offer to the ecosystem?
Yeah, because nothing is always successful. We have a challenging, journey around developing 3D printing in Henkel. That's why when we look at what really key success here, we see that the partnership is the one driving us.
So I'm sure it wasn't an easy road when you were entering the business. Were there some stories of failure that took place that you or Henkel really learned from and maybe changed its direction in additive?
Mm-hmm. I'm very appreciate this question because I think it's give me a lot of reflection before giving this answer. When I look back 2018, we tried to launch our own 3D printing hardware and printer. Hardware, as they say, is hard. So from it, we learned to remain focused on our core competency, which is the photopolymer materials. So we pivoted ourselves and began working directly in the industry top-notch OEM printer manufacturer through the strategic partnership program. But like I say, it's not just about hardware. For me, it's reinforced the value and importance of the entire workflow. In the production scenario, right? We talk about people, processes, technology, all of it have to be optimized and operate in sync with our industrial knowledge and data. Henkel, we in the unique position to help our customer, our partner get there with 3D printing.
Yeah, that must have been a huge change and shift in, within Henkel during that time. So given, having explored so many different avenues at Henkel to really help bring your advanced materials to market, what kind of future developments in 3D printing are you excited about?
Very interesting question, Janet. To me, when I look at myself first, I have been a big advocate of diversity and inclusion, both within Henkel and in the public domain. When I look back over the last 10 years, 3D printing has grown exponentially, and the ecosystem has developed where people embrace the diversity. Additive manufacturing is transforming ourselves, and we gonna be the one that set the bar for other industries. When you look at it from the gender perspective, the chemical industry definitely not the one that we can consider diverse, but it begins to change. There's a one survey by the Chemical and Engineering News Survey back then 10 plus years ago. Only 8.7% of 413 different management positions were held by women. Not now. Exact same study conducted again recently, and the numbers shift dramatically. Women now held the position over 32% related to the business responsibility, and I'm personally so grateful for that. On the application side, Janet, I like to say I'm most excited about medical and healthcare. Right now, a ton of focus on how 3D printing has responded to the COVID-19, and that to me is so fantastic. Not only we helping to stop pandemic, but we also prove that 3D printing can scale far beyond what anyone thought. Just think, right now, millions of nasal swabs are being 3D printed each week. I know I'm kind of going on here, but I want to bring last but not least, one of the topics that I embrace about sustainability. Sustainability is a huge opportunity for additive manufacturing industry. Of course, additive generally create less waste comparing to the subtractive manufacturing. But in the picture, it's actually much bigger than that, right? The supply chain implication in the environment where a large number of the products are printed on site, on demand locally. And it might sound to be difficult to imagine. I myself, I like my kids' generation to one day benefit from those efficiency.
That being said, if you're a kid or you are in high school, university, or someone that's just budding in in their career in entering this industry, what are 3 tips that you can offer?
Yeah, that's a very broad question, but again, very interesting question. Let me approach this question from this angle. Let's say you're trying to build a new additive manufacturing business inside a large organization. The very first thing I would tell you is to go find executive sponsor to champion your program. And the second thing I would suggest that starting from small and get into the quick win, you can gain a lot of support when you validate and scalable proof point. So start small, get a quick win, and lastly, I urge you to be more open in your approach. Collaboration is absolutely necessary. No single company in this industry, again, I repeat, no single company in this industry offer it all. We need to find the right ecosystem partner and be able to articulate the value that you bring on the table. There are so many different ways you can contribute and get there with additive manufacturing.
That being said, you mentioned find executive sponsors. What are the key value props you normally go to these executive sponsors with?
Business case. Yeah, it's linked to the second one, right? You need to build a business case where quick win, but yet it's a scalable. It can be proof point, but scalable after. Once you get buy-in, get the sponsor, execute them, and then be open-minded to look around in the ecosystem partner, the value chain, who else can add value and help you get there. I embrace this event. It's the first time female can step up. That's why, I mean, how can I say, my passion coming in. I really want to help this event, anything I can.
Super. Thank you so much, Cindy, for your time. Really appreciate your quick responses to all of these different topics here. We're really excited to have you speaking at the TIPE conference this year and look forward to sharing your story with the rest of our community.
Thanks again for joining us at the Women in 3D Printing podcast TIPE Series. If you like the content, please hit that subscribe button, follow us on LinkedIn or other social media platforms.
We'd also like to give a shout out to our platinum sponsors, HP, Trump, GE Additive, Matter Hackers, and Dassault for making all of this even possible. So mark your calendars for January 27th to 28th next year in 2021.
And visit us at type3dprinting.com to save your seat. And feel free to drop us a line if you have any questions or feedback.